going to walk down to the Capitol because you'll never take back our country with weakness.
It all began before January 6th, 2021.
We can now project that former Vice President Joe Biden has been elected President of the United States.
As Joe Biden's victory became apparent, the GOP hatched a criminal plot to overturn the election results.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
The plan? Disrupt the certification process, claim fraud, submit fake electors, and appoint Donald Trump president against the will of the people.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
First, they flood the courts with frivolous lawsuits, hoping for a quid pro quo from Trump appointees.
The Dominion voting systems were created in Venezuela at the direction of Hugo Chavez.
They lose nearly all of the 62 cases they filed. An executive order is prepared for Donald Trump's signature to have the military seize all voting machines.
He could take military capabilities and he could place them in those states and basically rerun an election in each of those states. Martial law has been instituted 64 times.
Donald Trump instills lackeys in the Department of Defense and DOJ, like Kash Patel, Jeffrey Clark, and Chris Miller.
President Trump is purging the top ranks of the Pentagon after firing Defense Secretary Mark Esper, replacing officials with White House loyalists for this lame duck period of his presidency.
And why are they being installed after Trump's defeat?
7 states forge electoral certificates and send them to the National Archives as fake electors attempt to break into state capitals.
7 states have chosen a slate of electors for both Joe Biden and President Trump.
In those states, there has been an alternate slate of electors voted upon.
We can direct that the alternate slate of electors be certified.
We're fixing to overturn the results of the election in multiple states.
Attorney John Eastman drafts a legal blueprint detailing how Vice President Pence can evade the law and count these fake electors instead. The Department of Justice drafts letters to swing states, falsely claiming that there was election fraud in an attempt to throw the real results into question.
Clark reportedly drafted a letter to Georgia state legislators that incorrectly said DOJ was investigating accusations of voter fraud in the state and that Georgia officials should invalidate Biden's win.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
And Republicans hit the airwaves to fire up their base and spread the big lie.
And if enough object, then those states' electors don't get counted in the final vote.
There are a number of states that have come into question here.
When the process is complete, there'll be electors selected.
You can actually have alternate electors.
You throw out the certification and let the House decide.
There will be a lot of things happening between now and the 20th of January. A lot of things.
President Trump's presidency. His first term's ending with action, and his second term's going to start with a bang.
Key Trump officials meet at the Willard Hotel on January 5th to plot their takeover, as white nationalist groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers stand back and stand by.
We'll be inside D.C. We'll also be on the outside of D.C. armed, prepared to go in if the president calls us out.
On January 6th, Donald Trump tweets out his demands that the fraudulent electors be counted, whips his army of supporters into a frenzy, and lights the match.
Go home. We love you. You're very special.
The coup fails, but Republicans use the chaos they created as pretext to change voting laws across the country.
Republican lawmakers in at least 43 states are considering more than 250 proposed bills that would make it harder to vote.
And instill partisan vote counters who promise to throw away votes they don't like in future elections.
We'll be a lot sharper the next time when it comes to counting the vote. There's a famous statement, sometimes the vote counter is more important than the candidate, and we can't let that ever happen again. They have to get tougher and smarter.
This is a coup in plain sight. History will judge where we stand in this moment. Which side are you on?